Previously on Kate in the Place. I spent 5 days travelling around the island of Malta, exploring ancient cities, archaeological sites and driving to the remote west coast. Join me as I bring my car on the ferry to the northern island of Gozo to explore a lesser visited part of this stunning country. So I'm about to board the ferry to Gozo, just in the queue at the moment. Apparently you don't pay until you're on the way back from Gozo. I've no ticket, I've nothing. I know it leaves every half an hour on the hour and the half hour. Welcome to Gozo, Malta. I've just got off the ferry, did a quick 10-minute drive. It's so cute. It's very similar to the island of Malta, but everything is just more compact. And I legged it straight away to Hondoc Bay. I want to go in for a swim here while the sun is out and it is not as cold as it's been. So it's actually a beautiful day for a swim. I'm so excited. Yeah, let's check out Hondoc Bay. Ooh, that is a lot chillier than the other day when I was at Golden Bay. I don't know what it is, but that water is properly cold. But you know what? Still not as cold as Ireland, and after a few minutes, it's absolutely beautiful. Look at the colour. Stunning, stunning, absolutely lovely. But now it's time to dry off, warm up and get some Maltese food. Okay, one thing about Gozo seems to be that there is like no parking in these towns. I couldn't find any parking in Namgar, the place that the ferry came into, just to pull over and be like, where am I going? What am I doing? So luckily I had the map saved offline. Very little internet here. And now I'm trying to get to Nadur because there's some lovely bakeries there and I want to try some fatira, which is a local dish here in Malta. And I've just had to leave the car literally out there on the road. Now, it wasn't the only car, but it's not a car park and there's just absolutely nowhere in the town. Half the roads are closed due to construction. There's no tarmac on them. I just drove through and I was like, oh my god, where am I gonna go? So these are the slices. It's like a traditional pizza, I guess. I know in Malta itself, fatira has like a ring in it, like a donut. But here on Gozo, it's more like a pizza. So it looks really nice there. And then this is my view. So life is good. It's good. It's tasty. It is like a soft pizza. Honestly, it could probably do with a bit of sauce, but apart from that, it's very, very tasty. Made it to Marsalford. This is my home for the next 3 nights. My final 3 nights, unfortunately, in Malta, and my base in Gozo. Now, Gozo is quite small, so you can kind of base yourself anywhere. This is just where a lot of the more affordable hotels happened to be. It's a little bit more run down than where I was staying on the island of Malta, but that's understandable given that this is a lot more remote. I feel like life moves a little bit slower here on Gozo, which I do like. All of the towns and villages that I've passed through today, except for this one, had absolutely nothing going on. It was like, does anyone live here? It's a ghost town, which is also quite nice. We've got the sea here. That is my hotel. Over there, it is gorgeous. It looks like luxury. It's a 4-star hotel, but it cost me like €35 a night to stay there, and that's on my own. So if you were sharing, it's pretty good. That includes breakfast. Apparently there's a sunset bar where you can get drinks and everything. It's proper fancy. I do not fit in there at all. Gorgeous sunset from the hotel here, guys. Successful day. Another very successful day here in Malta. I spent the following day on Camino Island, home to the world-famous Blue Lagoon. Check out my video on the best way to visit this natural wonder. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to an absolute scorcher of a day here on Gozo. It's the 1st of December, and I can't wear more than a t-shirt right now, so this is just amazing. The weather has been very mixed, so I wouldn't always guarantee good weather like this if you're coming to Malta or specifically to Gozo during the winter months, but I can guarantee you get a little bit of sunshine anyway. And oh my goodness, I'm just getting a view of this beach now. So I've driven this morning to Ramla Bay. Ramla Bay and Ramla Beach is one of the most popular spots here on Gozo, and that's because it's a nice sandy beach. It's kind of a red sand, apparently great for swimming. There's hikes up to caves above, so very popular spot. But Google Maps decided to bring me a very strange way this morning. Maybe it's because there's roadworks going on at the moment. The road between where I'm staying, Marsalforn, and Victoria, the capital here of Gozo, is closed, so it ended up trying to bring me down this thing that wasn't a road at all. But it looks like this walk won't be going unrewarded because I'm up on a height here and the views are so beautiful. Gozo is so lush compared to Malta, and I've just spotted my first glimpse of Ramla Beach. So I seem to have ended up in this abandoned building. This is where Google Maps took me. Thanks, Google Maps. Great view of Ramla Beach, but no clue how to get down here. Well, I made it to Ramla Beach, and this is the most life I've seen in a long time here in Gozo. Well, I guess since the Blue Lagoon yesterday, but apart from that, everything seemed pretty quiet here on Gozo since I've arrived, especially considering it was the weekend. But there is life here this morning. There are those 4x4 tours all around. A big bunch of them landed just as I was parking up. I had to go the crazy road. Yep. I had to go down a really steep, windy, narrow, unpaved road to get here. And I'm not doing that again. There is a main road. It just doesn't go back to Marsalforn, which is fine because I want to explore more of the island anyway. So I've just stopped off in the town of Sanat, which is another really quiet local spot where there doesn't seem to be much going on at all. But I love it. It's very, very cute. So I'm just coming into the main square. I just stopped to get more water, but I just came into the main square for a look. I don't think anything's open, but it's really beautiful. Okay, I found a bit of life in the main square, luckily. So I stopped here in the main square for a little coffee, little Americano, and I was like, God, this place is really buzzing, and there's so many of those 4x4s, those kind of buggies around. Went into this restaurant, and of course there's like 100 tourists in there. They must all bring them for lunch at the same place. Working in the tourism industry, I'm well familiar with that. I was like, oh, right. So I hope that means it's a good restaurant, but it is packed, absolutely jammers in there, full of tourists. Because I was like, where are all the tourists? This place is so nice. They're literally all in having lunch, and then all the guides are hanging out here. So I feel very strange for coming here independently. It is a really charming little village, Sanat. So I've arrived at Shlendi, which is one of the more popular little villages here on Gozo. It's said to be the most picturesque village or town in Gozo. It definitely is gorgeous. It actually looks a lot like Marsalforn where I'm staying. There's a lot of diving shops, a good amount of restaurants, and it is quite small, and it's got this little narrow inlet of water, and then it's kind of built up like this, so the views on the way in are fabulous, just as they are with Marsalforn. So I'm going to have a little look around, maybe get a gelato, it's a beautiful day, and head onwards. Okay, let's climb up this rock face together. Okay, it's such a warm day, I had to get gelato. This is pistachio and pretzel, which is like a pretzel, I think. Very excited to give it a go. Ooh. It's salty. That's delicious. Welcome to Dwayra Bay. Behind me here is where a lot of the first season of Game of Thrones was filmed. All the scenes with Daenerys were here by these cliffs. There used to be an arch that joined the two of these together. It collapsed in 2017, but it's still spectacular. These cliffs are so dramatic. I feel like I've seen a lot of cliffs here in Malta. I think these are the best yet. This place is so arid. It's like standing on the moon. It's just a very crater-y, moon-like surface, and it's so different to the rest of what we've seen in Gozo so far in terms of the vegetation. Gozo is very green, and this is the opposite of that. I think this is the most striking place that I've seen so far. What a perfect way to spend a last day. It really is like the moon over here, and there are little pockets of water, little puddles where salt is growing. And I know that Gozo is popular and kind of known for its salt production, but I haven't seen any of the proper salt flats or salt pans yet. Now the blue hole is nearby as well, which is a spot for diving, I think, a really deep hole, but I think there's a good viewpoint of it. It would be cool to go in as well. Not quite sure how it works, let's find out. So this behind me is the inland sea. I was wondering if you could swim there. I don't think so, there's lots of boats. So that's a bit underwhelming, but to be honest, it's fine because I've had my swim for the day and the geology around here is absolutely amazing. There's so many fossils in this rock, this crater-like landscape, plus the sun will be setting in about an hour's time, so I'm going to explore while the light is good and enjoy walking on the moon. Morning everyone, last morning here in Gozo and in Malta unfortunately, but before I head back to the mainland, I guess, of Malta, I'm checking out another couple of spots. This is Zuaine Bay, very popular with divers. There's actually a few divers getting kitted up there this morning. Beautiful crystal clear water and also salt pans, which are just down here. Now you can't walk on them, apparently it's private property. They harvest a lot of salt in this area up in northern Gozo. Also the rock formations here are crazy. I love it. So these salt pans behind me are over 350 years old. Salt was a hot commodity back in the day. It was even used as currency. So it's said to date back in this area in the Mediterranean since Roman times. The control of the salt flats was very much under the order of the Knights of St. John, the people who kind of founded a lot of Malta, including Valletta and that. Yeah, this dates back to them, which is crazy. It's also beautiful. Why do I just want to swim in this water? I am imagining it to be very salty, but it looks very swimmable. Beautiful. So onwards, another 5-minute drive or so, very, very close to the area of Marsalforn is Wied Il Gastri, which is a sea arch. I think it's pretty similar to what the Azure window was before it collapsed, but just a miniature version of that. So the road is kind of disintegrated here, so I'm just hiking the last 15 minutes or so up and down the hills to see it. So it looks to be a canyon of sort. Maybe it's out here. All I know is it's beautiful and isolated around here. Stunning day again, great weather. There's my shadow. So bright, and it's just lovely to be able to walk around without seeing a soul. Look at this water. So clear. No, I'm embarrassed now because I think I actually went to the wrong place. There's two places called Weird Ill something along this coast, and I think I just clicked on the wrong one on the map because I just looked in Google Maps. Why don't I do this ahead of time? And I could see that there's no arch on the satellite view at all. It's just a narrow ravine. It's beautiful though. So I might just be content to see this. This is beautiful anyway. Also, we have lots of sea arches in Ireland, so it's not exactly something unique. Whoops. So my stop here in Gozo is to Gozo's capital, Victoria, also known as Rabat. And it has a beautiful citadel up on a hill. I could see it there on the drive-in. It was so dramatic, and it is very hilly. It's also, I guess, where everyone on Gozo has been, because it is chock a block. I couldn't find parking in the city. There's about 10,000 people living here out of the 40,000 people that live on Gozo, so it's a small area and it's very densely populated. So I parked like 1.5 kilometers out of town on the side of the road. And I don't have a huge amount of time, so it's hilly. I'm just going to have a quick look around, grab a coffee or something, and get out of here. After the peace and quiet, this is quite overwhelming, but it's lovely, and the Christmas decorations look cute too. They have all these Bronze Age silos and kind of remainders of antiquity as well. And there's like a glass floor so you can look down at it. It's really cool. I think this is actually a great alternative to Medina on the other island. If you saw my other video, I just thought that Medina was so crazy busy. This is way less busy, and it has those narrow medieval streets. It's got all the history. It's fabulous, this Cittadella. And you can walk all the way around the city walls. This is so cool. So everybody, that is it, unfortunately, for Gozo. Okay, two things. First of all, I questioned before coming here if it was a good idea to come in the winter. It's the 2nd of December today. People were like, you're going to somewhere in Europe for the sun in winter? It wasn't really for the sun, just sunnier than Ireland. Ireland in the winter is awfully depressing. And here in Malta and in Gozo in particular, it was a mixed bag, okay? It's not always this bright and blue and sunny. The last 2 days has been spectacular. It's 20 degrees today, which is just a wonderful way to end it. But I absolutely recommend you to come here to Malta during the winter. There are some tourists around, particularly in Malta itself. Gozo has been a lot quieter. There are some of those 4x4 tours. Things are still open for tourism, which is great. But if you're looking to get kind of away from it all, there really aren't that many people around, which just leaves spots like this completely unspoiled, which is a gift, particularly in Europe now. I think it's harder and harder to find a secluded spot, and I know that in summer by no means is Gozo secluded. It gets incredibly busy here from everything I've seen and spoken to people about. But definitely, if you're not afraid to get a little bit chilly, if you're okay with it getting dark at like 5 p.m, which honestly for most of Europe at this time of year that's just the way it is anyway, and if you're okay with the sea being very, very cold, still very swimmable, nothing like the North Atlantic, but very, very cold all the same, come here, do it. Rent a car, get one of those 4x4s, go on a tour, doesn't matter, come here and enjoy a little bit of quiet, solitude and beauty. So that's everything on Malta. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure you check out my other Malta video on the island of Malta. You can check that out here. And if you've liked this series on Malta in the winter, renting a car, traveling solo, all of that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this with your solo traveler friends, and I will see you guys in the next place. Bye.